But the world was deceived looking at the 11 and not looking at just one. You have to look at one apostle, or if not, you are in apostasy. You'll fall from grace. So when I used to read Galatians 2:20, which was one of my favorite verses, I never read verse 14, because every good teacher always teaches with context, with the context which has been talking about this. So what is the context of Galatians 2:20? Look at verse 14. But when I saw that they were not straightforward about the truth of the gospel, speaking of the apostles, I said to Peter before all, if you, being a Jew, live in the manner of Gentiles and not as a Jew, why do you compel Gentiles to live as Jews? So listen, you have to have that same bionic eye. If not, you'll be deceived, because there are many that pretend to have the truth. And they defend, be careful with those apostates that are walking out there. But they're the first apostates, because when you have this knowledge, you identify them. Because Paul says, when I saw that they didn't walk straightforward according to the truth, straightforward according to the truth. And who were they that were not walking according to the truth? The 11 apostles. So what happens with the teachings of the apostles? They practice Judaism. And what is Judaism? Judaism is what makes you live. Paul says, I no longer live. But Judaism, what it does is make you live. That's where the problem lies. That is where the problem lies for 2,000 years. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, from this tribunal, we come back to the mystery worthy of mentioning to the nations through their internet. Imagine if the Pope were to hear this message, because the Pope is the one that's responsible for that falsehood that's been spread all around, because they deceived by the 11 apostles. Deception arrived to all of our nations. You have to be veiled not to understand what I'm saying. Right? This is very clear. Now, why do I know that Judaism is the worst enemy so you don't allow yourself to remain dead? Because Paul says, I no longer live. Christ lives in me. Now look, Romans 10:5, it's what explains that Judaism is what allows you to live and not allow what the word says, that I no longer live. Look at Romans 10:5. It says, verse 5, for Moses writes about the righteousness which is of the law. The man who does those things, do you see I no longer live in this verse? No, what you see here is the man who does those things shall live by them. The righteousness that's by what? By the law. That's what Moses wrote. The man that does, say, I don't do, because I no longer live. So then Judaism, what the apostles practice, is the worst enemy that doesn't allow you to remain dead and not live. But the pastors don't know that. But I received that in this occasion with this message, many understand. I received they understand, because the idea is that you no longer live. But living under the law, you're doing, because you are living by works. And you're supposed to live by the faith of the Son of God. And what does the faith of God say? It is He who's working in you what is well-pleasing in His sight, not you.